Hi, my name is Nate, and online I go by Palace, and I'm here today to help demystify NFTs and how humans have been using them as a new medium for social consensus. So to start, by a show of hands, how many people here have heard of cryptocurrency? What about Ethereum? Okay, what about NFTs? And how many people here have heard of Bored Ape Yacht Club or CryptoPunks? Okay. So those last two, Bored Apes and CryptoPunks, are the two most popular NFT collections. NFT stands for non-fungible token, and alongside cryptocurrencies are at the core of why crypto is so distinct within tech. If you want to understand NFTs and cryptocurrencies, you can think of any popular video game, like Minecraft, RuneScape, or League of Legends. In these video games, they have in-game currencies, and they have distinct digital items. Cryptocurrencies act exactly like video game currencies, and NFTs are just distinct, unique digital items. The difference between video game and crypto assets is that in the case of video games, those assets exist only on one company's servers and database. If those servers or databases ever went down, those currencies and digital items would vanish from the world. And that company can also give or take anything they want from anyone within their database. They have full control over it. In the case of crypto, these are managed on public blockchains, which act as public databases that are managed by a distributed network of computers across the world, and no one entity controls or can edit the data by themselves. Now, many of you may have heard that crypto and NFTs are bad for the environment because of how much electricity they consume, especially Bitcoin. Because it's a hot topic for NFTs and it's timely, I'd like to mention that Ethereum, where most NFTs exist, has recently shifted from proof of work, like the blockchain network, to something called proof of stake. And among other implications, this has reduced the energy requirements of the Ethereum blockchain by 99.99%, from 112 terawatts per year to about 0.01 terawatts per year, making Ethereum and NFTs no more a threat to the environment than any other digital human activity, which is great for the future of this technology and, of course, also for the environment. So the novelty of NFTs is that you can attach a digital media file to a crypto token, an NFT, and by holding that crypto token in a wallet, assign ownership of the media file that's attached to the token to the owner of that wallet. Now that's still a big mental leap for a lot of people, that digital items can be owned by someone, that an image which can be downloaded, shared, copied, printed, and nobody could stop it from happening, could be owned by someone. Because of that, I'd like to explain how people have been using NFTs and why some people have been paying up to tens of millions of dollars to own digital items. So NFTs have been solving two primary issues: authentication and proof of ownership. And to understand how these work with NFTs, we need to understand how they work outside of crypto. So many of you may have owned Pokemon cards before, or sports trading cards, or Magic the Gathering. And if you have, you probably know how fake collectibles can be a huge issue in those markets. And in the fine art market, counterfeits is the biggest issue. Switzerland's Fine Art Expert Institute has estimated that up to 50% of fine art in circulation is fake. So it's hard to overstate how big of an issue authentication is for the art market. Now, NFTs don't solve all of the issues with stolen art. You may have heard that there's artists who don't even know that NFTs exist, who have their art stolen and minted as NFTs by thieves pretending to be them. But NFTs do solve a lot of the problems of authentication by having that public database on the blockchain. Because every transaction is public, it is trivial to identify who minted an NFT, what collection it's in, and its history. And because all of those transactions are public, while it's possible to create Pokemon cards that are fake that are good enough to fool experts, and clearly the fine art authentication experts have been fooled, it's virtually impossible to create a Bored Ape fake NFT that passes because there's only one real Bored Ape collection on Ethereum, and any NFT outside that collection is easily searchable and findable as not being a real Bored Ape. And if we're talking about an individual artist who's maybe not a big NFT brand, their personal identifier might be their wallet. So in crypto, wallets are how you interact with the network. The same way that your mobile device interacts with the internet network, your wallet interacts with the blockchain network in a similar way. And because these wallets are public, like everything on the blockchain, they became great personal identifiers. And so when an artist is known by their wallet, now any art piece of theirs minted by any other wallet becomes an obvious scam. These steps forward in art authentication by themselves are meaningful and will save an enormous amount of effort in avoiding counterfeits, especially over years and decades when art can disappear and fakes can pop up to replace it in the market. This is why art auction houses like Christie's and Sotheby's, who have been in the fine art market for centuries, get NFTs and have fully embraced this technology. Because these auction houses understand the art world and they understand how important this technology is to the future of the art world. To talk about the proof of ownership side, I want to touch on something called provenance, which basically translates to history on the blockchain of any given NFT. When people see an NFT of a Bored Ape, they usually think that picture is the NFT. But the token part of the NFT that's on the blockchain is actually where we can identify that this is an original Bored Ape. It's a real Bored Ape in the only real Bored Ape collection. And because of that, the token on the blockchain is actually the important part of the NFT. You see, if you want to understand how NFTs are used, you need to understand that NFTs create a system for social consensus of who owns what in the digital world. And to understand provenance, I'd like to talk about it in the example of the Mona Lisa. Now, I'm not an art appraiser, but I think we can all agree that the Mona Lisa is probably worth a lot of money if it was auctioned. Yet outside the museum where the Mona Lisa is displayed, you can often buy near stroke perfect replicas of the Mona Lisa. Not prints, but paintings from artists talented enough to make the replica indistinguishable from the Mona Lisa. Yet compared to the Mona Lisa, these paintings are worthless. Now, it's not how the painting looks or how the painting is perceived or even how the strokes are put on the canvas. It's the fact that only one of those was painted by Leonardo da Vinci and is the real original. Of course, the real is priceless and the duplicates are worthless. You'll see a Basquiat painting that looks like probably your 4-year-old niece could have painted it, and it sells for $5 million. And there are millions of artists around the world who could create perfect replicas of that painting. Yet none of their paintings would be worth anything because they're not Basquiat, and only paintings painted by Basquiat are Basquiat paintings. This whole dynamic is repeated in NFTs. Real Bored Apes are valuable. Real Beeple NFTs are valuable. Real Da Vinci and Basquiat paintings are valuable. Pixel-perfect copies, stroke-perfect replicas are not. And that's part of why people still do not understand NFTs. People think NFTs are about digital art, digital collectibles, video game assets, memes, and membership passes. But all of these are simply applications of the technology. NFTs are a system of provenance and social consensus about what is a real, what is an original, who created it, and who owns it within the digital world on a database that is decentralized and no one entity controls or can change the data. So art is art, gaming is gaming, gambling is gambling. NFTs are the new medium of digital ownership, and blockchains are the future of global online systems of social consensus. This technology is for creating and transacting the proof of ownership for things that are intangible, to create a technological asset that can be traded and can be identify who created, who owns, and what that asset is in the digital world, what it means, and where it can be used. And that's what NFTs are today. Thank you.